Rhode Island here chatting with the one and only Jillian Bell about her brand new project, I'm Totally Fine, starring herself and Natalie Morales. Say that 10 times fast. Jillian, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. Well, I am a huge fan and have been for a long time. I have to say your balance between comedy and drama is so nuanced, but let's talk about this project and what sort of initially interested you in it and attracted you to it as an actor and a storyteller, made you go, hey, this is something I have to absolutely be a part of.
My buddy Kyle Newcheck, who I've known forever before Workaholics, but obviously all through that we worked together. He called me and we were just talking about how crazy the pandemic was. We were just gotten into lockdown and he said him and Brandon Dermer had this idea about how out of control life feels and how none of us are in control. None of us could have predicted this and how you just kind of have to find your flow with it. And they said, there's a movie in there somewhere, about the loss of control and just loss in general. I mean, we all lost like 3 years of our lives just now.
Yeah.
So it's out there and people are feeling it. So why not talk about it? So they came up with this wild idea and got Alicia Keytree to write it. And I called up Natalie Morales and was like, is this something you'd want to do with me? And she jumped on board and I was so happy because that kind of rounded out our perfect group of weirdos.
Yeah. Well, all of you do such a great job and it's such a fun film. And I think we have Kyle on tomorrow. And as a sidebar, we've had several of your Workaholic co-stars on periodically throughout the show. So it's interesting when we get to talk to somebody who was a part of that world. But we'll get there in a second. So I'm very curious, where did the storytelling journey begin for you, Jillian, and what sort of interested you in becoming an actor? Where did that process start for you in your life? Because I know it's so different for everybody else.
Yeah, I was a goofy kid. I really like making my family laugh. I think especially during hard times, I like to keep everyone up and positive. And when I started doing improv when I was 8 years old, because my family found some classes, and so I caught the bug early, and then theater in high school, and then I moved out I did like one semester of college in Las Vegas. That's where I'm from. And I told my parents I would do what would be considered a semester out in Los Angeles to try it out. And then I was like, oh, I'm staying here. There's no way I'm leaving. And I honestly, Groundlings became my schooling. Basically, it was where I learned how to write and improvise and create characters and listen in a scene and everything. So I owe everything to that.
Yeah, a lot of folks got their start in the Groundlings and are still even participating in that when they can to this day. So interestingly enough, you have done drama, you've done comedy. Both are so different. Is there one particular world, Jillian, that you're the most comfortable in, or is each project that you come across and are given, do they all present their own unique challenges? Because to me, I would think comedy would be way more difficult, but I have no idea. I'm just based on some of the great things that you've done in both worlds. I find that, and I think the fans and listeners would find that equally fascinating.
Oh, thank you. I love doing both. I feel like roles like Brittany Runs a Marathon, I'm Totally Fine, are more challenging, but I really enjoy it. I did a movie recently that's coming out soon where I play like just a total weirdo, and instead of having them write in a bunch of lines for my character, I just said, is it cool if I just find little ways in and improvise? And they let me do that. And I would say that's the most comfortable I feel. That's where I feel like I'm not memorizing a ton of monologues or anything, but I just get to interject live in the character and totally, not in a method way, but like just get to show up on set and really get into this weird headspace and get to improvise little comedy bits. And that's where I feel the most like fun and free in myself. So those ones slightly not easier, but more in my comfort zone.
I love it. Well, I cannot wait for people to watch I'm Totally Fine. It's such a great film. And especially now where there is so much content to consume. this is one that everybody needs to put on their list. Again, I've enjoyed, it's a pleasure always watching you on screen in your comedic roles equally as the dramatic. I always find myself laughing. And sometimes people look at me like, is it funny? And I'm like, yeah, this actor Jillian, she is just the absolute best. So it's very true. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, everybody. Please be sure to check out I'm Totally Fine. We've been chatting with one of the stars, Jillian Bell. Jillian, thank you so much for your time. It's been a fun pleasure, and it's been great to meet you. Thank you so much.
But thank you for having me on. That was really fun.